Cora, you join us for a bit of an update on Conor McKenna, our Irish recruit. How have you seen his progress in the first 8 weeks with the club?
Yeah, look, he's been fantastic. I mean, he's taken on board all the extra sessions that we've put in place for him. So a lot of the extra sessions we've been doing have been, either before training in the mornings, which has more been associated around his hands and quick hands and clean hand stuff. And then in the afternoons, we've been focusing more on his kicking. You can see from, the Irish game coming across to, AFL, they do kick differently, so they tend to kick around corners in the Irish game a lot more. So we're just trying to now straighten his kick up, with his ball drop and his handling of the ball and the way he actually moves through the kick as well. So that's been a lot of the focus pre-Christmas, and we've been able to see a lot of improvement, even in that 8 weeks. So it's been great.
I suppose the main thing kicking, as he says to me, is the ball drop. If you don't get the ball drop right, it can go anywhere. So it's just practicing the ball dropping straight under your foot, and not because I used to get swaying the ball about, so he just says keep it in front of your body and drop it straight, and that's the main thing.
He had a really good training session the other day where you saw a few things. What were some of the things that stood out to you that really impressed in that session?
Yeah, well, one is he's a pretty powerful athlete, so he's got a lot of speed, which is great for this game. And his ability to take on board some of the tackling that we've been doing prior to Christmas is that, he hasn't done a lot of that at all, really, in the game that we play. So we've been doing a lot of that stuff with him because he's not used to it, and we've seen that come out in his game with his pressure and also his ability just kicking and his decision making under a bit of pressure. I mean, with tacklers coming at you, he's not used to that either, so he's been able to dispose of the ball and use his kicking technique to hit targets, and we've seen that come out in his game also, which has been good.
There's one bit of play where we see him sort of lead up the ground, take the mark, then turn around and hit up an opponent. Is that decision-making element that you're talking about?
Yeah, it is, and they're probably used to a lot in their game to really go at the defender and try and get around them, whereas in our game, when the defender comes at us, we probably know that they're going to try and tackle us a little bit more, so they have a lot of confidence in going at the defender and trying to get around them, knowing they're not going to get tackled, and he's actually brought a little bit of that, in different drills that we do, taking on the defender a little bit more and getting around him, and I've sort of been a little bit impressed as well with his technique and kicking, even at speed. And I've just tried to slow down his footwork a little bit, so he disposes of the ball a little bit better, and he's able to hit those targets forward as well.
You've seen obviously a bit of improvement so far. What are the steps from here to getting ready for AFL football as soon as you can? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, there's still a lot of progress to go. I mean, when you talk about footy, there's a lot within the game plan that he has to learn. So not only does he have to learn all the defensive aspects, might have to play as a forward as well with the ball movement stuff. And then there might be parts where he plays for the midfield, so he's got to learn all those different structures through those different areas as well. And it's still really working on his basic skills as well.
I feel more comfortable when I'm just sort of thrown in the middle of it and try to do as best I can rather than concentrating on solely. But no, I'm loving it so far.
He wants to learn. He's probably in a rush as well, and he's got to do something really extraordinary to get himself to the AFL. So he understands that he's got to put in the time for these extra sessions. And I'm really enjoying working with someone like that who wants to learn. For me to educate him, it's an easy process because he's always there turning up and, putting his best foot forward.
Cora, thanks for that today.
No worries. Cheers, boys.